What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you on Ballard Sports Media on Friday. It's first off, that's how the show started. Chess was on Friday nights, but we
Yes.
want to try to do that on maybe Thursdays or Fridays because we want to look into Saturday's games. We want to look at the
Yes.
weekend. But before we get into all that, man, how you doing? What did you think of Georgia last week and ultimately college football as a whole? Because we didn't really have many great games.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm happy to be back again this week for Unprofessional Sports Show. Georgia looked kind of sloppy at the beginning, but I think everybody's team looked sloppy at the beginning. Bama didn't look too good at the beginning, but then, the third and fourth quarter, Bama come around and started kicking butt. So did Georgia. Carson Beck looked really good. Brock Vandergrift looked really good. And we saw some stars emerge from the Georgia game, and I think Georgia's going to be all right. I think Carson Beck will settle in this coming week, and we'll definitely be ready for South Carolina, our first really tough test. What about you, Bauer? How did your team do, buddy?
Well, I mean, 56-7 over Middle Tennessee is a good win. It's a great way to start the season, but it's not the quality opponent. Like we'll pick games later and we'll get into it more. Alabama plays Texas on Saturday. That's the real game that's going to show Jalen Milroe and what he can really do against a top tier team. I say top tier. I know Texas is probably tier 2 or tier 3 this year. I don't want to put him at like on this pedestal, but you're not going to base his performance against Middle Tennessee and say, well, he's clearly the starter. He had 194 passing yards, 48 rushing yards. Isaiah Bond, he's going to be a beast. He's going to be the lead receiver this year, most likely in every game. It looked good. It looked really good. 56-7. You guys win 48-7. The thing is our teams look great, but it was against lesser competition.
Yeah, totally. I thought y'all's quarterback looked decent. I'm not gonna lie, he looked good, but I don't think our quarterbacks are going to be settled in until like week 3, maybe.
Right.
Because you got to think it's Milroe's first start. It's Carson Beck's first start. It's just we're all gonna be nervous a little bit, and I think that we saw that week 1 with our teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you had other good games on. I mean, we had some good games. We'll save one for last, but I want to put this one up. I understand who they played, but how about Bo Nix and Oregon scoring 81 points, dude? I mean, I think that offense has high flying potential.
Yeah, I mean, what was the final score? 81 to what?
7.
Okay, so their defense did look good, I guess. I mean, Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix is not a bad quarterback, but he just can't get it done against Georgia. We've seen that, or any other big team. Their offense is kind of like Oklahoma when Baker Mayfield was there. They got a good offense, but their defense just is not there. Who did they end up playing against, Ballard?
Oregon?
Yeah.
Portland State.
Okay, it's Portland State. I mean, I'm pretty sure me and you could cover their offense, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give Bo Nix credit for 80-something points, but it doesn't surprise me. That Oregon team's going to be a high-scoring team no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, college game day, and again, we'll get to week 2, making its way to Tuscaloosa this week. But last week, went to Charlotte. What'd you think about North Carolina and South Carolina 31-17 getting the job done, the Tar Heels?
I honestly thought that South Carolina was going to win that game, dude. I think, coming off their victory against Tennessee towards the end of the year, I thought they had a lot of momentum going into this year. Spencer Radler, I thought he was going to do really good. I mean, he did do good, but North Carolina pulled away in the third and fourth quarter. And I don't know. Did you see the interview with Shane Beamer after the game? That guy just looks lost, like a deer in headlights.
He does. he seems like he's a little disjointed and confused, and he just like I love Shane Beamer. I love his character. I love his press conferences, his attitude. I like South Carolina. Shout out to the South Carolina people out there. You know,
Yep.
Pigskin Pete, Carolina Jackpot, and of course the new guy, Twisted Rooster, who we
You
love.
said you said Pigskin Pete. He's not a South Carolina guy.
Well, he's in South
I know.
Carolina.
I
I
got you.
wanted to shout him out. We'll get to Clemson later. They're our next victim. Sticking to the Battle of the Carolinas, the Dukes Mayo Classic. Drake May throws 2 touchdowns. Number 1, North Carolina. Number 21, I'm sorry. I'm not going to put him that high. Jeez. 9 sacks on Spencer Rattler. I mean, is North Carolina going to be that good defensively, or did that offensive line just crumble?
No, that offensive line crumbled. There's no way North Carolina's that good. I want North Carolina to be good because a couple years ago I thought they were going to do really good, but they did terrible.
Right.
But I just don't have no faith in them, honestly. I just think they got lucky. I just think South Carolina's defense is terrible, and their offense is not terrible. But I think if you put South Carolina up against a good defense, a decent one, they won't do any good. Like we'll find out when they play us if how good they are, how Spencer Rattler is. But I think South Carolina is best at finishing third in the East this year. If I'm being honest,
So I did pick South Carolina when I did my picks last week, and
I did too.
I mean that's my own fault. That's my own wrongdoing. Honestly, dude, I only missed 3 games. I think so. I picked TCU, I picked Army against ULM, and then I picked South Carolina. So I'll say this. I think everybody had picked TCU. Let's move on to that. Deion Sanders gets it done in his first ever Power 5 game. That was where College Game Day. No, College Game Day was at the Carolina game. So, but that was the kind of the headliner there on Fox was Colorado and TCU. So, what'd you see in that game? Did you watch it? Did you at least go through
Yes,
highlights? I mean, that
I,
was insane.
I watched that game. TCU looks like the worst defensive team I've ever seen in my life. I feel like that TCU they lost Max Duggan, their heart and soul of the team, right?
Right.
Last year, Georgia thumped them in the national championship, 60 something to 7. I just think they're still hungover from the national championship. I think they got to the big time, got smacked down, and they're going to stay smacked down. I
The
think.
only thing I'll
Uh,
say though, I mean, you got it. 42 points is good. 42 points
yeah,
is Colorado's defense stood up at the end, and I think Colorado wanted to make a statement because let's be honest, this whole offseason, the talk about Colorado is they're only going to win 3 or 4 games. I
yeah,
think they might go. I might change my prediction on them like real quick. I mean, 6-6, 7-5. I'm not going to hype them up for a 12-0 or a natty, but
yeah.
dude, they better make a ball game after that performance.
They might make a bowl game possibly, but I do think they're gonna when they go to play like USC teams like that, they're gonna get smacked down.
Right.
Dion did good for the first game. They were hyped up, but that hype will be gone. But towards the end of the year, I think Dion will have maybe 6 or 7 wins his first year. But I don't know about a bowl game. That's a little bit pushing it because for a first year head coach. So I don't know, but I think Colorado is they're okay, but they're not the greatest team in the world.
Right. Yeah. A lot of great games. Illinois beats Toledo. No one really cares too much. Penn State, West Virginia. I think everyone picked Penn State to win this game. How West Virginia bounces back, or if they bounce back, is up to them. But what are your thoughts on Penn State this year, Chess? Because they looked like they had some good potential, especially on the defense this past weekend.
Penn State gets hype every year, but they never amount to anything. They're like Tennessee, not making fun of Tennessee. They get all hyped up during the offseason. They do pretty decent, but they usually end up losing 3 games. And that's how I feel about Penn State too. Honestly, they're an okay team, but they're always overhyped every year. In my opinion, that's just me. I don't know about you, but that's me.
Yeah. No, I fully understand it. Like it's always they gotta be in this era of football the biggest. This is our year team. Think about it. How
Mhm.
many times have they been the third team behind Michigan and Ohio State? Now, I think they get over the Ohio State hump this year. Can they compete with Michigan? Is the question. Drew
Eh,
Allar, the freshman quarterback, or I guess he's a sophomore now. He looks pretty good.
yeah,
But again, we don't know what to make of West Virginia this year. So, I mean, are we going to base it off the one game? You know, Nick Saban says one game doesn't define who you are. So,
yeah.
keep going, I guess.
Can we please go over the Florida game next, please?
Oh,
Please.
man. Yeah. Okay. You can go to the treasure box and we can talk about Florida. What happened against Utah?
They got their asses kicked. That's what happened. Florida's the worst team in the East, bar none, besides maybe Vanderbilt. Florida
Heck, they
is not
might be
going to.
worse than that.
This will be the worst Florida team that Georgia's ever played. I think. Honestly, I'm still nervous about the game because it's the cocktail party. But
Right.
um, dude, Florida's terrible, man. The quarterback's terrible. The defensive line terrible. Their offense is terrible. Everything's terrible about Florida. Terrible about Florida, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24-11, the final score there. Graham Mertz looked like he was lost, man. I mean, let's put trash talk aside. He looked like he was lost out there. Now, I'll give credit to the receiver, Ricky Pearsall, who was the lead receiver of the game. But also, Utah did not have Cam Rising. They had their second string. I can't even think of his name, but yeah, Florida, man. I mean, you would think without Cam Rising, Utah is nothing. Utah showed up and showed out, and Florida just looked like they didn't know what to do on a football field.
Imagine if he would have been healthier for the game. I think the score would have been worse. Honestly,
I
if I'm
would have.
being realistic,
I think Florida would have had the 11 points. I think Utah would have hung around 38 total.
I will 150% agree with you on that one, Ballard.
Yeah. But that's the Thursday game. I mean, you had Nebraska, Minnesota. That was a good game too. Was
Yes.
Nebraska, Minnesota? I was pulling for Nebraska. Shout out to Nate DeGreat too, who's a
Yep.
two-teamer. But we love you. NC State and UConn was a 10-point game. I mean, they were good matchups in terms of these are the teams you want to see go up against each other, but they're not going to have any playoff implications. None of these
No.
teams go very far. But they were good. Then you get to Friday. Now, I was at the radio station Friday, running the board and everything, but I kept an eye on that Louisville Georgia Tech game. Okay, Georgia Tech
Terrible.
fans
Terrible. Terrible.
hyped up this game, hyped up Haynes King. Now, Haynes King did good,
Mm-hmm.
but man, did Louisville just punch him in the throat.
Dude, Georgia Tech.
No defense.
I love you, Sea Dog. If you listen to this, I'm sorry, and your brother is hilarious. Please have your brother in more live streams. Him getting
Shout out
mad.
to Rick Talk too, man.
Shout out to Rec
He's a
Talk too. Rec
good tech
Talk,
nerd.
Rec Talk. I like you, buddy. You probably don't know who I am. I used to be TikTok Chess Hall. I was giving you shit in Tiger Cat string the other day. Don't get bad. Don't get butt hurt. It's a little bit of trash talk. But before these guys come around, I didn't really worry about Georgia Tech. Now I want Georgia Tech to lose every single game, and I'm possibly think they might lose every single game this year.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding with you. They're probably, besides Florida, one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. I mean, I'm
Oh,
really
you
just
didn't,
gonna talk
Ballard.
about.
You didn't talk about the Week 0 game, Vandy and Hawaii.
Oh, that's right. Let's back up to that. But final thoughts on that Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
I do think that Georgia Tech, is on the right track, but Louisville was just the better team that night. Now, that being said, we actually have two games Well, one of them was a really big blowout. Notre Dame and Navy, 42-3. Notre
Uh-huh.
Dame spot on with Sam Hartman, Audric Estimine, Jaden Greathouse. They look really, really good offensively. Great on defense. Navy, thank you to everyone who serves in the armed forces. Thanks to
Hmm.
the players at the academies. No disrespect. I'm not going to say anything bad. We're going to move past that.
Uh-huh.
Vanderbilt, Hawaii, 35-28. Vanderbilt wins, gets a win for the SEC, making us look pretty good.
Yep.
What'd you see in this game? Were you pulling for Vanderbilt?
Yes, I was actually pulling for Vandy. Um, Last year, what was Hawaii scored 60 something points on Vandy in week
Yeah,
0.
something like that.
Vandy, I mean, they're not world beaters, and they're not gonna be amazing. They'll still be terrible in the East, but good job for Vandy representing the East for week 0, man. Or in the SEC. I'm not always an SEC homer, but when it comes to teams like Vandy and like teams like that, I'll root for them because I mean they're the little man on the totem pole. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a great week 0 game. It was the first game on, and it was probably one of the best games of the week, if I'm being honest. Like when it comes to college
I will
football.
say this. I will say this. For Hawaii to have 4 touchdowns in this game,
Yeah.
that quarterback, Shager, Braden Shager, 35-28 was the final score. These are his stats. 27 of 35, 77 completion percentage for 351 yards. That's great. He threw 3 touchdowns. That's also great. But think about this. He did all of that and still threw 2 picks and took 3 sacks in the game.
Just,
That took a
just
lot of
yeah.
guts for that quarterback. I
Just
mean, we
shows.
rip our quarterbacks for what they do bad, but
Yeah.
then like we forget that they did pretty good in that game.
If I'm Vanderbilt right now, I'm like, yep, we're 1-0. That's all
Yep.
I'm saying. It's a win. I'll take a win any day of the week. Hawaii, I mean, they haven't been good since what 07, honestly. I mean, I don't know.
Probably longer than that, like 06 or 05, right?
No, 07 was when I know Georgia Brand's bringing us up all the
Oh,
time. Colt Brennan, we all know it. Rest in
yeah.
peace, Colt Brennan. They were really good that year, undefeated. Anyways, doesn't matter. But Hawaii, I mean, they just lost to Vanderbilt, which is kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. What's the next game, Ballard?
Let's see. There were a lot of games we don't need
Well,
to
can we talk
discuss.
about this one thing, Ballard?
Yeah,
How in the hell does JT Daniels still play football? How's that possible?
you're talking. Where's he at now? Rice.
Rice. Yeah, how?
Okay. So he's at the grain school now. What happened in that game? Do you know? Like, I
They got the
can't
hell
really
beat out
watch
of him. I
it.
know that. They got the shit beat out of him. Dude, this guy's got to be on his 18th year of eligibility. I'm not kidding, dude. This man has played for. Okay, listen to me, Bauer. He played for USC, Georgia, and then he went to where did he go after? Oh, West Virginia. Now Rice.
Uh-huh.
4 teams.
Yeah,
Good
in
gosh.
like 7 years.
Yeah, 18 years actually. Jesus.
It seems like it. Yeah.
He's Benjamin Buttoning or something, man. He's got that Benjamin Button disease. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
No, I don't know, man. As far as JT Daniels, he's not going to make it in the NFL. I wish. I like JT Daniels. He's
I
got a good
do. He's a
heart.
good.
He
Yeah,
cares
yeah.
good. He's fallen off. He was a 5-star, and he look where he is today.
Some 5 stars aren't as good as 3 stars, believe it or not. You know what I mean?
Look at Tua,
I know.
injury
Like,
prone, made of glass.
yeah. I mean, but he's
Still
in the
turned that thing
NFL.
around.
He's in the NFL still, kinda.
He's
Yeah,
doing good. Good.
he's
Yeah.
if you breathe on him, he'll break a clavicle or something. But anyways, let's talk about the Tater Man going down to Duke.
Now,
Wow.
did it come as a surprise? Because I know a few
Yes.
people. I know a few people that said, "Be careful." and that they turned around and they picked Duke. What surprises me though? Here's the thing. Um, Clemson only scored 7 points. Cade Klubnik had
Yep.
209 passing yards. Will Shipley ran for 114, and they
Yeah.
still managed to lose by 21 points against Duke.
These guys were coming down to the goal line and fumbled twice
Yeah,
for Duke to pick it up and win. I mean,
had too many penalties and bad
dude,
snaps and had
if
so
this
many errors.
if this does not say that Dabo Sweeney has lost his way, then I don't know what. The dude doesn't look at the transfer portal. Dude, if Dabo has another year or two after this, he'll be gone. I'm
I'm
sorry,
so
but it's true.
glad. I'm so glad that wasn't on the pick 'em because I would have lost so
I would have
much.
too.
I would. Oh my gosh, man, Taterman, Taterman. Anyway, um, let's back up a bit. Let's go to the Sunday night game. I had friends over. We watched the game. It was really good.
Mhm.
LSU and Florida State.
I'm so
Yeah,
pissed off. I'm so mad. The one
I'm
time I
mad
root
because I am pulling for Florida State.
we know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, the one time I root for LSU, they get murdered. Daniels didn't look good. He got
He was the passing leader though, and the rushing leader.
I know, but like LSU's offensive line's terrible. And what's crazy is Florida State's more than likely going to end up winning the ACC. And what's even crazier is now my year's not ruined, but like my pick was ruined. I picked LSU to go undefeated into playing Bama, and y'all beat them. And y'all probably end up beating them, and y'all are going to win the West now, you bunch of bastards. Sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yep.
Damn
No,
LSU.
I mean, look, it's not surprising that LSU lost, but the margin of victory. What did they? They lost by 21.
I didn't think it'd be that
21,
bad. I really
dude.
didn't.
And Jaden Daniels out here throwing for 346 yards, rushing for 64, and they still couldn't punch in the end zone. And
Here's
their
damn,
defense was
yes.
soft.
Their defense
But
lost
man,
them the game. The defense lost them
but
the game.
flip the coin real quick. Go to the other side. Jordan Travis, man, if he's not a Heisman finalist by the end of this year, I mean, wow. I didn't realize he had that much in him. Like we knew he was good, but he came into this game with such poise and confidence and that offensive line and the receivers were helping him out. But he was just so calm, like he knew what to do in this game. And he said, "This is my team, and I'm not going to let anyone take it from me."
Yeah, Florida State's going to do good things this year. I can't wait for them to play Florida, and it's going to be 80-0.
Maybe,
I think I don't think Florida State's defense is that good, believe it or not.
yeah,
I just think that LSU just wasn't. It just wasn't. They're not. You know, I think LSU will bounce back from this, and I think they'll be undefeated going into playing y'all. Like not undefeated, but like the only loss being to Florida State, and that's a good loss to Florida State. Maybe this will motivate LSU to get kicked in the butt and stay because I mean, not being a hater or anything, but everybody pretty much picks them to win the West this year in a way because they
right.
didn't lose anybody last year, and their quarterback was one of the best returning quarterbacks out of any conference. You know what I mean? But I don't know. They just let me down, so I'm not going to pick LSU to win any games. I'm not doing any pick'ems with LSU. I'll just say I don't know with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that pretty much sums up week one. Are you ready to dive into week two and see what I'm going to pick on the ESPN Pick'em?
Yes, I am. Are you going to share the screen and we'll do them together or what?
Yeah, but what I put in is what I picked, but we definitely want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts. Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts and my reasons and my
Okay.
good stuff.
Um,
Yeah. And
team,
if you guys aren't subscribed out there, shame on you, you bunch of bastards. We love
yeah,
y'all. Ballard is over 1,000. And and he's doing a good job. And we've been doing this show for 2.5. Well, dude, no, we've been doing the show for like 3 years now, ain't we?
3
Been about
years
three.
past. Yeah, it was August of 2020, so it's been just over 3 years.
Yeah, so you guys subscribe and share Ballard stuff out because Ballard works really hard. And damn it, Ballard, I heard you were on the radio the other day, but I wanted to hear you, but I didn't know what channel it was on. But if you get a link to that, send me the link.
I'll send you the website. It's Friday nights, although
Uh huh.
that, something came up and we're not doing it this week, but we'll
Yeah,
be back next week.
I'm happy to announce, Ballard, that I've been searching for a church for a couple years now, and I have found my church. Ballard, can you please tell everybody the name of that church? Because it's a church you go to. Can you please tell them about that church before we get started, if you don't mind?
It is Desperation Church in Coleman, and what Chess
Yes.
means by that, he lives in the state of Georgia, so he's watching remotely, which is completely okay, man. However you need to connect and get some Jesus in you, go
Yep.
for it.
Yep. And I'm happy to say that. So let's get to the pick'ems, Ballard. Let's do this, buddy.
All right, let me screen share real quick.
I
And
see you 5,000 people out there watching. I see you guys. I see you. I'm watching you.
love you, Mom.
I
All
love you
right.
too, Mom. Also, there you go. Okay, let me full
All
screen so
right.
I can see this. Here we go.
I guess we'll go based on the order that it's in.
Yeah.
This game here actually could be pretty interesting. NC State and Notre Dame, and this is at NC State. What do you think, Jess?
I'm gonna go with Notre Dame just because it's a gut feeling. Uh, uh, Join a conference. That's all I can tell you. I'm going Notre Dame, man. Anybody with a brain in their head is gonna go with. I mean, look, they're 97. What is it? Does that say 97? 97 something. What's the percentage on?
97% of people have picked Notre Dame.
Exactly. So I'm going with Notre Dame. I don't know what you buy, but I'm going Notre Dame.
I look at this game, it is at NC State, and NC State can be pretty good at home. But do
Yeah.
you know teams that they haven't beat? Clemson being one of them.
Yep.
They've beat teams. They lost last year. First off, they lost their quarterback to Kentucky, Devin Leary.
Yep.
You know who they had to lose to at home last year?
Who was that, Ballard?
Boston College.
I'm going with
How
Notre
bad?
Dame, Ballard. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
I do not see much improvement by NC State. I could be wrong. Notre Dame always has a good game plan. They're physical on both sides of the ball. Going to have a great offensive line. Sam Hartman's going to want to launch that sucker to the end zone, and he's got good potential, man. I think Notre Dame could go pretty far this year, maybe 9 or 10 wins.
Yep, maybe. We'll have to look and see. Let's look at that next game, Utah versus Baylor. If I'm going to be honest, Ballard, I'm going with Utah. They just got a big win for. Is it at Baylor or at Utah?
Let me see here. It is
I'm guessing at Utah.
at Baylor. It's
Oh,
at Baylor.
I'm still going to go with Baylor, or not Baylor. I'm going to go with Utah. They're ranked higher, and they get their quarterback back, don't they, this week? Or am I wrong about that? Utah?
Actually, I have heard that Cam Rising, isn't he out for the season?
Oh shit! Okay, that changes
I don't
the whole.
know.
That
Cameron,
changes.
I'm gonna
I'm trying
search
to.
this up before I pick.
Okay, and I'm gonna look up
I
what
mean,
Baylor did what Baylor did last week. Let me see who they played. Let's see. Let me get a Google because I don't want to pick Utah just because they're ranked. I was going to, but if they're not going to have their quarterback, then I don't know. Let me see. Let's see.
this
Baylor.
headline, this headline from the Omaha World Herald news website. Number 12, Utah hopes Cam Rising returns for trip to Baylor. Okay, so maybe he's not out for the season. I know he
Okay.
had a really bad injury, but
Okay, I'm gonna.
um,
I just got my mind changed. I'm going Utah, and here's why, Ballard. Baylor lost to Texas State, 31-42. I'm going Utah. Give me the Utes all the way. Yep, go Utah.
Dave Aranda on a Dave Aranda on a hot seat there in their last 5 games has lost all five. They lost to TCU last year, Texas, Kansas State over them. Give me the Utes.
Okay. About now, Ballard. I'm gonna let you pick this next one first, and then I'll talk after you get done.
Yeah. Deion Sanders wins his first game as a Colorado head coach. Does pretty good, but is he good enough for Nebraska? Yes.
It just yeah okay.
Anybody is good enough for Nebraska. Give me the Buffaloes. Give me Shadur Sanders. Great defense. They got a couple of Alabama guys in there. I'm trying to remember who it is, but they've brought in a lot from the transfer portal. They also lost a lot to the transfer portal, but they made up for it, well, with the transfer portal, with recruiting, with players. I have a lot of confidence now in what Colorado could do this year. I'm not calling a national title. I'm not saying 15-0. I'm not saying any of that. But until I see it, don't bet against the prime time. Give me the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go also with Colorado because Nebraska. If this was the '90s, I'd say Nebraska all the way. Shadir Sanders looked really good last week, and I think they're going to continue their hot streak and be 2-0. Give me Colorado all the way.
All right. Up next, Iowa.
Iowa, Iowa State, and
Rest in
Iowa.
peace, Jeff
Rest in
Webster.
peace, Jeff. Love you,
The
buddy. Mean it.
Cyhawk Trophy Battle. This is a great one. This is a good one. College Game Day's gone there a couple times. This is on Fox. This is a big rivalry. Honestly, I think it's tough to call, but I would say, you look at what Iowa did. They went to Michigan and got Cade McNamara at quarterback. So I think they also got a tight end from the portal, but they've kind of boosted their offense a little bit this year, Chess.
Yes, I'm going to go with Iowa. Sorry, Jeff. I know you're an Iowa State guy. Love you.
I will
Mean it.
forever be
Yes.
a Cyclone fan
Yes,
because of it.
I do like Iowa State, but K McNamara going to Iowa, they got a far better quarterback. Give me Iowa. Give me the Hawkeyes over the Cyclones.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to
Okay.
agree here. This is interesting.
Eh,
This is interesting here. Ole Miss
is
and
it though?
Tulane, a top 20 matchup.
Is it? Is
What's
it
that?
though? Is it really interesting, Ballard? I mean, come on.
Well, it's interesting because I'm not a believer in the Ole Miss defense, and Tulane's got some boys on that offensive line. They got some receivers. They can hit you in the mouth with their run game. It's I really think it's going to be more interesting than people think it is. Tulane, who did they beat USC in a ball? You mean to tell me
That was
they beat Caleb Williams? They beat Caleb Williams,
yeah, but they
and
don't
they
have a
don't do
defense,
anything.
Ballard. They don't have a defense though, Ballard. Like
They held South Alabama to 17.
not them. It's South Alabama, Ballard. Jesus, come
You're
on, man.
talking
Go
about
with your.
you're saying USC doesn't have a defense.
Yeah, they don't. Look at the game they played. They played terrible,
No,
even though they won.
who says Ole Miss has a defense? They got Pete
I'm not
Golding.
saying that. I'm not saying they'll have a defense. I'm saying that they're gonna outscore Tulane. So I'm gonna go Ole Miss. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not picking Tulane. I'm
This
going
is
Ole Miss all the
at
way.
this is at Tulane, by the way. This
I
is
know,
seven
but
and
I still think the Lane train's gonna win. Just being honest.
oh,
Whoop whoop, pulling in.
chugga 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 chugga. Ole Miss.
Yeah, choo choo.
I'll go with Ole Miss, but man, Uh, I'm biting my tongue on that
You
one.
do whatever you want, Ballard. I mean, you don't got to pick everything I pick. You just copier.
We're coming back to this one here. Let's
Yeah,
scroll
we'll do that
down.
one. No way. Yeah, go up. Go up. Wait a minute. You missed one.
We
Go up.
missed. Oh, the
Miami and
Aggies
A&M.
and the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm going with the Jimbo Fishers. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, me too. I think A&M is going to be much improved. I think it's possible they make a bowl game this year, but we still got to see it. I think they get a step closer though, and they take care of
Yes.
business against the Miami Hurricanes.
Goodness. All right. Well, you want to do the Alabama one last since it's your team? That's
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Okay. Ooh, Oregon and
Oregon
Texas
and
Tech.
Texas Tech. This is easy.
Yeah, I'm
Oregon.
going with Oregon, man. They
80,
scored
listen,
81 points.
Bo Nix.
That next one's easy too. Boise State sucks awfully. UCF all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I like Gus Malzahn. I think he's a good offensive mind, and he's got the tools to score a lot of points this year.
Man, I tell you what, if a gum company does not sponsor Gus Malzahn, what's your problem? That dude chews more gum than anybody I ever know. Anyways, next matchup.
All right. Oklahoma State and Arizona State.
I honestly
That's
don't know.
actually tough.
I'm
That's
gonna go. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State just for gut with feeling.
Are they both? Does it say they're both 1-0? Who did they? Who
Yeah,
are
I'm just going off to the percentage of people that picked. I'm going with. I don't know anything about Oklahoma State, honestly.
Mike Gundy is still the head coach, isn't he?
I have no idea,
He's a man. He's 40.
dude. That guy's been there since fucking forever. When are they gonna fire him? Ever?
I know. I don't
He's a
know.
he's a man, and he is indeed. He's not 40 anymore. He's about 50.
What did these teams do last week? I'm looking at the schedule. Uh they play. They had to play. They're both 1-0. Where are they on here? Are they on the road? Because I'm looking in the home team column. Anyway, just focusing in on this game. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. Ever since Herm Edwards left Arizona State, he's kind of fallen off a bit. Mike Gundy knows what he's doing. He's got the offense. He's, he did lose his quarterback last year in Spencer Sanders to Ole Miss. I don't know who they got down there, but I'm sure they got some boys and some weapons. Give me Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'm going with Oklahoma State too. What other games is there? Oh, you got another game. We got to go to the Bama game now.
We got to go to the Bama game.
I'll let you talk first because it's your team. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Now, Alabama in Tuscaloosa this season against the Texas Longhorns. Now, this game was close last year, Chess. Did you actually watch it?
Yep. Texas got screwed out of the win. No offense to you. It was a fumble. You know it was, Ballard. Admit it.
Yeah. Now,
okay.
I'll say this. Alabama against Texas is actually 2-7-1.
Damn. Okay.
That's Alabama's record. So you could say Texas owns Alabama, right?
Yeah.
In a way. But they haven't beat Alabama since 1982 in Dallas, where Paul Bear Bryant was the coach, and they had Fred Akers as the Texas coach. 14-12 was the score in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They met last year. It was 2019. Alabama had to kick a field goal. Had to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And man, what a time to be alive, though, if you're a Texas fan. Look what Sark's doing with this program. Look what he can do on Saturday night.
If Sark comes in, if Sark comes in there and beats y'all, dude, he's getting a pay raise easily. But I'm gonna be honest, Ballard. I don't ever really bet against Alabama unless it's my team. I'm playing. Right. That's playing y'all. Texas's quarterback. They got a better quarterback than you do. Honestly, he's more experienced. But same time, Alabama has a better defense.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Bama. I'm gonna go with Bama because I think it's at home, and Bama barely ever loses at home. I don't even remember the last time Bama's lost at home.
Can I play a
Um,
song real quick?
you can
I
play
know
whatever you
it's
want, man.
my channel, but
Oh,
hold on, that's the wrong one. Give me the Longhorns in an upset. Alabama ain't doing this.
what? What
You
about
heard me.
no? You're not going with
No,
Texas, are you? Come
Chess,
on, you're
hear me
not
out.
going with Texas. You're not going
Hear
with
me
Texas.
out.
You're crazy. Go ahead.
There's a gut feeling. There's a gut feeling this isn't going to work this Saturday. I'm
I know
sorry.
what you're doing, Ballard. I know what you're doing. You're doing reverse psychology. I'm not stupid. Pick farm language.
No, I
Pick
can't,
freaking
man.
Alabama. Pick Alabama. Come on. Pick Alabama. I'm telling you. Look,
Told you to watch the
I bet
game.
anything I bet anything. The final score of this game will be 45-17, Bama. I bet anything.
You think it'd be that bad?
I think Bama. I think Bama beats Texas down because of last year. I think this is a revenge game
Damn.
for Bama. Believe it or not, I think this is a revenge game. I think Saban knew that he lost last year's game, and this is a revenge game. I'm telling you, man. I think Bama beats the shit out of them. That's just my. I mean, that's just it's whatever. You pick whoever you want, but I'd go with Bama, and that's crazy that you're not picking them. But okay, reverse psychology. That's what we're doing.
All I'm
Okay,
saying, here's my explanation real quick.
go ahead.
Are you really going to sit there and base Jalen Murrow off of Middle Tennessee State?
No,
I
I'm
think
not gonna.
Texas
I'm not.
has
I'm
some
not.
dudes on that defense.
I'm not basing Jalen Millero. I'm saying Texas has a better quarterback, but you got to think though, Ballard. It's at your stadium. Your team, your fans are going to be rocking. They're going to be all over Texas. I mean, Texas will have a couple thousand fans there, but y'all are going to have the majority there. And crowd noise does have a lot to do with the game, believe it or not. Ask Alabama about Georgia. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But whatever though. I'm going Alabama, but you can pick Texas if you want to. That's cool. I didn't think you would. I think you've never picked
I
against your
hope I'm
team. Holy
wrong.
shit, that's crazy. I know what you're doing. I'm not reverse psychology. I know. I know.
This is an
Oh, we got to go down
unbiased
to
show.
points. We got to go to. We got to go down to points now. How many points
Yeah.
next going to be scored? You go all the way down to the bottom. Got to go all the way to the bottom, Ballard. How many points is that going
Okay.
to be scored?
It's asking for the total number of points.
I'm going to say around 60 or 70.
Total.
Yeah. Let's see, 45. Let's see, 45. I said 45-17, so that's
You
45,
really, man.
55.
Alabama
Yeah.
loses Bryce Young and Will Anderson, and you say they play a team they almost lost to last year, and they beat them even worse?
Yep.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, okay. I'm trying to put my Bama fanhood aside for
I get it.
this.
You're trying to be a sportscaster. You're being like Paul Fienbaum. I know what you're trying to do. I get it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Ballard.
Okay.
If, Bama loses, which would be crazy, will the West come down to Bama and LSU when they play? Is that what you think?
Yes. I
Okay.
think even if they won the game, which is possible, I'm not ruling out the possibility. I just have a gut feeling Sark is going to have something up his sleeve. And with that also being said, I'll go ahead. Like, I just, man, it's
Okay.
it's time for Texas to do something in college football.
So you're saying
Like,
they're back? They're back. Right.
well, Saturday will tell
Okay.
for sure.
All right, man.
Total points scored, I can't really remember what I had for a score prediction, but I had it barely. What did I have it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. I know what it was, and maybe I'll eat my words on Friday tomorrow. Tidal Wave Talk, by the way, at 5 on Fridays. So I'm gonna say, let me do this math here. 52 total points. And here's the score, Chess. You ready?
Yep.
Texas 28, Alabama 24.
Okay.
That's
I
what I'm
respect
getting.
it. I respect it. That's cool. That's up to you. I mean, I hope you're right. I'm not being mean. I hope Alabama does lose. I really do. Because I don't like your team. I don't like it. I think Texas is okay. I mean, they beat us in the Sugar Bowl. Whoop de doo. They're back. They never were. Whatever. Screw them. But I can't stand Bama. I can't do it. I just can't stand them.
Nobody can. They do. They just don't like the standard of college football.
No, now Ballard, we're the standard of college football now. Oh, and I
It's
didn't get to
one
pick.
A and one B.
I didn't get to pick my team. I'm picking my team to win like 50 something to 7 again over whoever we
I
play.
think
I
they'll
don't know.
go like
Go ahead.
55 to 10, 55 to 7.
I hope it's 55 nothing because I wanted a shutout last week, but we didn't get it. But it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this week, Ballard. It's gonna be good. Y'all's game's a night game, which is good. I like night games of other teams. Not my team. I hate when my team plays night games. But I hope y'all do good. I mean, I hope y'all
I
lose.
hope so too.
But
I hope
whatever.
they, like I said in my video, which again, catch it tomorrow. I said, Bama proved me wrong. Give me a reason to pick you in this game other than I'm an Alabama fan. Because last week, again, like I know Texas played Rice, but Alabama played MTSU. Best thing MTSU has done is beat Miami. That's like beating a group of 5 team today.
Oh, shade at Miami, man. Gotcha. Hey,
Mic drop. Damn it.
mic drop. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully it'll be a good weekend of college football. I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Ballard. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
um, any final thoughts on your team this weekend before because you picked them to lose? Any more thoughts?
I'd be curious about
Traitor,
the run game.
traitor. I'm playing.
What's your thoughts on Clemson? We talked a little bit about Clemson earlier. They
Yeah,
are one loss away from being unranked. You know they're at 25 right now.
I hope they lose another game. I
They
can't
went
stand them.
that low. They went that low.
Yep, they suck. They're terrible.
I
Get them out
hope.
of.
Who is this? Charleston Southern.
They'll beat
Oh,
Charleston Southern.
if they
Yeah.
lose that game though,
Nah, Cade Klubnik will have like 4 or 5 touchdowns. I already know.
I know.
Clemson's, they're not they had like 1 or 2 good years and now it's over. So there you go. Yep, whatever. Screw 'em.
Yeah,
Club Dick, whatever his name is, Club Dick, whatever.
yeah.
Any more thoughts about it before we get out of here and let these fine people enjoy their Friday night?
Nah, man. I got nothing. It's just great to have college football back, man, and it's great to always do the show with you. I love you, buddy.
I love you too, buddy, and we love each and every one of you. And put God first in everything you do. God bless everyone out there. Be safe and go dogs.
Roll Tide. We'll see you later.